Welcome to Old Town Bangkok. Today I'm going to be taking you on an epic DIY street food tour of the old city like no other. We're talking a back alley Thai Chinese street food classic with a twist. 30-year-old handmade noodles you'll find nowhere else in Bangkok. Some clay pot, super rare mutton stew, a funky local salad, some super popular local noodles, and I'll even be finishing you off with a delicious sweet treat. Let's go. All right, first stop on this epic food tour adventure. We're getting a pork leg stew with shitake mushrooms. All right, so let's have a look. And look at the meat, look at the hunks. Got the pork hock. Oh, the jelly. Absolutely falling off the bone. So we've got the pickled mustard greens, and then we've got those rehydrated stewed shiitake mushrooms. พี่ครับร้านนี้เปิดกี่ปีแล้วนะครับ20 ปีแล้ว Right, so price-wise, we're starting at 50 baht for a bowl, and then you can just get a plate of khao, 100, 150, 200. The ankle. Oh, look at that bony goodness. So much fat and collagen on these. I'll tell you what, this smells absolutely incredible. Real strong smell of Chinese spices, star anise, cinnamon, etc., etc. The restaurant, our kind of place, just tucked down a little alleyway in between two rows of shop houses. You've got pictures all over the wall, royal family pictures all over the wall. There's another guy, an uncle down the alleyway doing cafe boran, so traditional Thai coffee and tea. So we'll grab one of them as well. I've got to get ordering, guys. This looks insane. I'llนึ่งจานนะครับใส่ทุกอย่างนะครับครับ I'm going to get an extra bit of that soup slash broth. ขอบคุณนะครับ Look at that, guys. Woo. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. The place is absolutely packed. They're bringing out more tables every couple of minutes. I've stolen one over there for myself. So in the way here, it's not even funny. But he's being nice to me. Oh, there's the tea. All right, so look at this, guys. He's doing things properly. We've got charcoal going on down here. Wow. All right, so let's have a look at this bad boy. We've got the 2 boiled eggs, which for me are always a bit hard. Pickled mustard greens. We've got some intestine there. Those lovely shiitake mushrooms. Pork fat. And then some of that nice stewed pork meat. So some piquino, some chilies, garlic, fresh. Not going to eat that. What I am going to eat though is this pounded red chili garlic vinegar. Just going to add some of that on. Don't worry, I already tasted this off camera. I know what I'm working with. And then just going to pour on a bit more of this soup slash sauce, cooking liquor. All right, guys, this is the vibe that I'm looking for. When we're talking about Bangkok street food, it doesn't get much more quintessentially old town Bangkok than this. A classic Thai Chinese street food dish looks to be done absolutely fantastically. So let me try it a little bit, see what we're working with. Oh, that is delicious. That soup is intense. Oh, it's really, really heavy on those Chinese spices. As I said, I could smell the cinnamon, the star anise. It's nice and salty, a little bit sweet. But that sweetness we've cut perfectly with that chili vinegar. Oh, you can really taste. I wouldn't say if I didn't know there was mushrooms in it, I would taste mushroom, but you can definitely taste something different from an average khao khao. It's like a little, like got more of a sort of earthy, woody, kind of deep flavour. I'm going to say it now. This might have just snuck into the top 5 in Bangkok. I'm going to get a little bit of fat. I'm going to spike it with one of these little quinoa chilies. We got our Thai tea. Do you know what? That's the first time I've ever ordered one and said not sweet and it's come not sweet. Ah, yes. It's my guilty pleasure, my friends. But again, having Auntie doing the pork out the front, Uncle doing the coffees down the side, this is just like, this is a perfect spot for you to come down and do yourselves, as I said, DIY food tour. Doesn't get better. The soup is unlike anything I've had before. Usually I lean towards more sort of soy sauce driven pork legs. Like my favorite is bang wa, which is a really good one. And that doesn't have so much of the Chinese spices. Usually I find them a little bit too sweet. I think with the addition of these mushrooms, there's such an intense pork flavour as well. Absolutely stunning. Texturally amazing, because you've got these sort of almost, where they're dried and then rehydrated in the stock, they're kind of chewy, almost gelatinous. Then you've got that soft, beautiful, fall apart pork meat. Delicious. I'll get a bit of intestine. Very well cleaned. Doesn't have that barn door. Very well cleaned. Doesn't have that, what did Richard say? Richard, barn floor? Taste to it. The fat is absolutely incredible. I'm going to get a bit more of this sauce. This is deliciously sour. And then with the quinoa chili, you just get that sort of like instant burning heat and kind of like grassy flavour. This might not actually get beaten today. This is that good. Oh, I haven't had a pork leg stew for about 5 months. Maybe that's why I'm enjoying it so much. The egg's not for me. It's a bit overdone. That's just how they come. That's just personal preference. Even at my favourite one in the whole of Bangkok, they're overdone. So, yeah, I'm not going to mark them down for that. Get down here. ASAP. Come on, come. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. อร่อยมาก ขอบคุณนะครับ Bye-bye. Oh my God, what a first stop. That was intense, rich broth of the finest order. That's one to stick on your list for your DIY food tour for sure. Next up, we're going to be getting some local noodles that are famous in this area. But first, I need to get myself my morning coffee. All right, so we'll have a little pit stop after the first meal before I hit the second stop, because I'm a little bit full from the first stop. I thought I'd take a little moment, get my morning coffee, because I can't function without my morning coffee. And this is a great place to come and grab your coffee if you're in this area. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about other things to do whilst you're eating on these food tours. So a lot of you ask me that question: what can I do when I'm out, and what are the things to see, and what temples should I go to? Now, truthfully, I've been here so long, I don't do a lot. All I do is eat, drink coffee, and I used to drink beer. I don't really drink beer anymore, so all I do is eat, walk around and drink coffee, walk down the little back streets, etc, etc. But if you do want to go to some temples, my top tip would be, especially if it's not your first time in Bangkok, I would not go to the reclining Buddha myself, Wat Po. It's nice to see once, but it's very, very busy. Same goes for the Grand Palace. It's an amazing structure. It's a sight to behold, but it's just ridiculously busy no matter what time you go. So if you're in this area, you have a couple of other options. You've got Wat Suthat at the end of the road, which is a smaller temple right next to the giant swing, which is one of the main landmarks in this area. It's a very nice temple. You can go walk around. It's quiet, not too busy at all, especially if you go midweek. The other option you have, which is a more ornate, bigger structure, is Wat Ratchapawbit, which is a 3-minute walk that way, and that is an absolutely stunning temple. So if you want to see, you know, a little bit more sort of local life rather than just temples packed full of tourists, and especially if you're just going to get, you know, photos of some nice temples and you want some bits to put up on Instagram, etc, etc, then I would definitely go for one of those two temples. Of course, as always, I'll put links to those two temples and everywhere we ate today in the description box below. For now, I'll finish off my coffee and we'll get on to the next stop. All right, next up, we're at Baan Pad Thai Sa Ching Cha. And as the name suggests, they are famous for Thailand's national dish, Pad Thai. But we're not here for the Pad Thai today. We are here for two lesser known dishes. It's a 14-year-old little shophouse restaurant right slap bang in the middle of the old town. You're gonna absolutely love this one. Right, so I've got in nice and early. They've just opened. So there's only two other people in here and I've just ushered them in. They were trying to decide whether to come in or not. So I said, this is good. Come in. สวัสดีครับลุงครับสบายดีไหมครับสบายดีครับครับเอาผัดวุ้นเส้นชะอมนะครับเอาเผ็ดๆนะครับแล้วก็ข้าวคลุกกะปิ And this is the star of the show. This is the shrimp paste fried rice, one of my favorite things in the whole world. He's opened this up for me now so we can have a proper look. So we've got cucumber, red onion, green mango, chilies, lime, dried shrimp, dried chilies, long beans, sweet chicken, and shredded omelette. As you can see, we've got a lot going on with this salad. It is an absolute flavor explosion. It's not the main thing I wanted to show you today. The main thing I want to show you are these lesser known fried noodles, which in years gone past, very popular in the old city. So as you can see, we've got a little bit of everything here. It's just a beautiful, fresh salad. Beautiful. Okay, ngam, beautiful. It's swai ngam. Ngam. Ngongu. Ngongu. Not one I can say very well. He said I can go back in the kitchen because obviously I'm the roaming cook, so I get access. Very impressive, super clean kitchen. Very organized. I mean, if this was the only place that I was going today, I would definitely get the pad thai as well. But seeing we've already eaten a khao more and we're just about to go and eat some more handmade noodles and then a sweet, don't think I can handle it. Right, and Uncle's doing my... I need woon sen. Okay. ใส่พริกเยอะๆ in with those prawns. So lots and lots of chili, lots of prawns, a little bit of water, just create a bit of steam. Naman hoi. Seiyuu khao. So light soy sauce. Touch of any pom jorod. Namtan. Sugar. It's very nice and simple. It's going to crack an egg, I think. Woon sen. So these are glass noodles or mung bean noodles, cellophane noodles. His wok's definitely seen some action. It's going to crack us an egg. It is very, very, very clean and tidy in here, as I said. Very organised. Anyone who thinks like these street food places or mum and pop shops are not safe to eat in, you need to come here. So look, we've got a little bit of char on that egg now. Right, and you can't see it, but underneath the plate, he's separated the prawns, so they're going to go on top. This looks mega. Khao khap. Khao khap, Pete Bom. Yes. Okay. Khap. All right. So let's have a look at what we've got. So we've got that climbing wattle, the chatom, the sulphury, eggy. I want to say fern, but I think it's a shrub. That charred egg, loads and loads of chili. Most beautiful, just cooked through prawns. And then here, that beautiful mixed salad with that shrimp paste fried rice. And you can just see the color of that. Absolutely perfect. All right, super, super excited for this one. These are two of my favorite dishes. This one, the woon sen, not one you see very often. This is very much an old sort of traditional dish in this area. Now there's another dish that looks similar here called pad mi gacher, which is water mimosa with sen mi, which are thin rice noodles, but I much prefer the woon sen, and I love this flavor, the sort of eggy, sulphury flavor of the chatom. So I'm going to go in with that first. All right. This is without a doubt one of my favorite dishes. I absolutely love chatom. If you've not had chatom, it is, I think the English name for it is climbing wattle, and it's an edible fern or shrub, and it's often paired with eggs. So we get a dish called khai jiao chatom, which is, khai jiao just means omelette, so it's omelette with chatom. And I think the reason it's paired with eggs a lot, now correct me if I'm wrong, my Thai viewers, is the fact that it is quite an eggy, I was going to call it herb, but it's like an eggy vegetable slash fern. It's got quite a sulphury taste, almost reminiscent of stink beans or sator. So obviously I love that, but it just pairs really, really well with eggs. So here we've got that sort of sulphury, almost bittery kind of flavor coming from the chatom. We've got that beautiful charred egg, loads and loads of fresh red chili. So we've got a nice bit of heat there. And then those comforting, chewy cellophane noodles. Right, we'll try one of these prawns. They've still got like the remnants of the head on, so you've still got a little bit of that, that creamy head butter, that juice. Delicious. Sweet, perfectly cooked prawns. Not overdone in the slightest. Just very simple, very comforting. As I said, just oyster sauce, a little bit of soy sauce, and a touch of sugar. They're just, I want to say they're plain, not in a bad way, just very, very comforting And pretty much you could feed these to anyone, minus the chili. They'd be happy. All right, next up, I'm gonna try this khao kluk kapi. Now you've seen me feature this dish many times on the channel if you're a regular subscriber. First time I've had it with chicken, as I said. All right, so the trick here is to just, some people eat it like separately, whereas I like to just squeeze my lime on. And then just get it all mixed up. All that chili in there. So every bite, you've got a bite of everything. I don't usually mix the sweet pork in. I usually keep that separate, but I've never tried this sweet chicken, so let's see. Now, as with the, I just got a hit of those crispy, fried, salty, dried shrimp. Amazing. Now, on first bite, I prefer this sweet chicken to sweet pork. It's still a little sweet for my personal taste. It's just palm sugar, dark soy, stewed chicken. But it's actually very nice. But with that sweetness, you're also getting pops, as I said, of that salty dried shrimp, which is balancing that sweetness. You've got the sourness coming from the lime juice, but also that tart sourness coming from the shredded green mango. And then just red hot Thai bird's eye chili heat coming through from the red chilies. The perfect amount of saltiness as well from the shrimp paste. It's the perfect amount of shrimp paste on the rice. And what can I say, it's a top dish. It's very difficult to get a bad version of this. I've had a couple where I'm not like ultra happy with it. I usually get this when I'm in like cafes and stuff randomly. But a few of the street versions I've got, I'm not always happy with. This, banging. So, seeing we're on a DIY food tour, this seems like as good a time as any to talk about the sponsor of today's video. Don't go anywhere because the sponsor is me. So you'll find in the description a link to my ultimate Bangkok food guide. So all you've got to do is download it. You've got a map, a Google map of all of my favorite places in Bangkok with links to the videos that I've done at each place so you can see exactly what you need to order, as well as a little description of what I think of the restaurant. Grab it, you won't regret it. Thank you in advance. All right, so before we leave at this restaurant, on to our next stop, I have to talk about the Pad Thai because that is their signature dish. And I came in here the other day and I had the Pad Thai top version. I've just seen her cook one in the kitchen. They deep fry fresh river prawns head on, stir fried to perfection with rice noodles in their own homemade, house-made Pad Thai sauce. It is really, really good. I just cannot fit any more food in at this particular stop because we've still got to eat another 2 dishes at the next place and the sweet. But anyway, guys, as always, every stop, links in the description. So that's it from this stop, on to the next. Bye-bye. Come on, come. Come on, come. Bye, hi. It's good? Oishi? Oishi, all right. Nice to meet you, bye. I think you'll agree, killer second stop. Really lovely people in there. We made some new friends. We made some Japanese friends. Hopefully they're going to show me around Japan next year when I go with a little bit of luck. But if you think that was good, wait till you see the next stop. Absolute masterpiece of a street food restaurant, and it's right across the road. So just across the street from Baan Pad Thai is our next stop, and this is going to be our final savoury stop of the day because I think I'm going to die. This is Nhay Nai Lun. So this place is super special to me. This is one of the first places that I came in the old town of Bangkok. I'm talking probably, well, it's got to be 8-9 years ago now. It was just a typical, as I said, hole-in-the-wall shop. And what they've done with the place, the sons and daughters of the owner is absolutely incredible. They've got their story up on the wall here, and it's heartwarming to say the least. Their mum, who is one of the nicest ladies I've ever met in my life, and the dad, absolute legend. worked tirelessly to put the kids through university. And it's super rare these days that after kids have been privately educated in Thailand, that they want to take over the family business, especially when it's a food business. But these guys have taken it and just ran with it, and now it is like one of the busiest restaurants in this part of town. You wouldn't think so now, because I've got here, as I said, pretty much at opening time, but come lunchtime, queues out the door. It's absolutely insane. All right, so we've got English menu and we've got Thai menu. All right, so these are the must tries. We've got to get something with the Hai Lam noodles. Ooh. Crispy pork is an absolute must, guys. The mutton stew, out of this world. All right, so these are the homemade, handmade Hai Lam noodles. Then we've got toasted sesame, gatiam jiao, which is fried garlic, pickled mustard greens again, spring onions, and all sorts of bits and pieces. And then this, my friends, this is the famous soup. Woo. Look at that. Oh, the crispiest, crunchiest more crab known to man. Look at the bubbles on the skin. All right, next up, so we've got mutton stew, mutton and tofu skin stew in the richest broth imaginable. All right, but for anyone not interested in the story of the restaurant, you just want to know about the food, this is it. So look at these hunks of stewed mutton. We've got that tofu skin, and then a deliciously rich, dark, murky, peppery mutton stew. Right, let's try it. Spoon test. Oh, look at that. It's literally, it's falling apart. Woo. And with that, we've got a shredded, toasted galangal, and that is going to go into there. Also, we've got a chili vinegar, which is quite sweet, sour, and spicy, as you'd imagine. Nice fruity little number. Kway Teow Hai Lam, handmade Hainanese rice noodles. So they are more sort of akin to a bun bok hoi noodle. The crispy pork here, absolutely insane. Look at that skin. And then in that soup, we've got toasted sesame seeds, a pork bone soup, and it's really cloudy, really murky. Right, my favorite thing about this restaurant myself is the namjim kapi, shrimp paste. It's almost like a namprik. So it's shrimp paste, sugar, chilies. We're gonna pop that in there just for a little bit of funk and a bit of kick. Oh, also, I'm gonna add some other type of bon, prick bon. Oh, look at that. Colour of that, insane. All right, we're gonna put in our namjim, all of it. It's a beautiful soup, really, really good. It's very, very rich, so to cut that richness, we're gonna use that chili vinegar. Beautiful dried, shredded galangal. Ah. Yes, all right, so we'll start on the noodles. The soup broth, you saw the colour of that soup broth. Just a nice, dark, murky pork bone broth, which we've made even more murky with the use of this namjim. Shrimp paste has the most intense, sort of salty, umami flavour. It's funky, but it's not funky in like a pala kind of funky way. It's just one of my favourites. It just adds such a savoury note to the dish, but it's also spiked with lime juice and chilli, so you're getting a real sort of chilli kick. And you're getting a little bit of acidity too. Perfect. So also getting a nice bit of acidity from these pickled mustard greens. Salty, sweet, sour. I'm going to try these noodles. Ah. The texture of handmade noodles as opposed to factory-made noodles. I mean, I eat factory-made noodles, I eat any kind of noodle, but these are thick, doughy. A word I keep using today. Comforting. This is just a comforting, sort of cozy bowl of noodles. Right, so this is the test for the crispy pork. If it stays crunchy in this soup, it's a winner. Now I'm going to stop short of saying it's the best crispy pork in Bangkok, but it wouldn't be far off the best I've had. It's so well seasoned, so crispy, so crunchy. It's got perfect fat to meat ratio. It's up there. This and Five Sisters, for me, the two best crispy pork I've had in Bangkok. And as you guys know, I've eaten a lot of crispy pork. Right, onto the mutton stew. Now, if you haven't had mutton in Southeast Asia is goat, not an old sheep, which I thought it was because we call mutton old sheep in England. But anyway, that's by the by. Let's give this a go. I'm going to get a big chunk of the mutton, one of these tofu sheets. Although it's not lamb, it's like the closest thing you get to lamb on the streets in Thailand. So it does kind of bring me back to the UK. It's not something I get to eat too much. Deliciously rich. Really, really peppery. Now I would, if I were you, and this is your first time here, try it without any of the nam jim or the toasted galangal. I've been here a few times, well actually I've been here loads of times, so I know what this tastes like. But every time I come, because I don't come here a lot, I probably come here every 6 months, blows me away every time. Yes. So you've got that kind of almost gaminess from the goat soup and those hunks of just melt in your mouth goat that have been stewing away for hours. Over coals. Then you have that beautiful toasted galangal. Then the sweet sour hit from the nam jim just takes the dish to a whole nother level. I've had goat in a few places in Bangkok. Muslim restaurant would have been one that is now a street food stall in Bang Rak. Like this is the softest of the soft. I'm gonna have to take a little break, maybe have a jog around the block, do some burpees, and I'll be back for our last stop, which is a sweet. All right, so last stop, guys, you wanna be looking out for this pink and white sign. And actually, I just want to give this place a quick mention. Patong Ko, the best of the best. But it's only open Saturdays and Sundays and after 4. So after 4 weekdays, PM, and all day Saturday and Sunday, but this is serious. All right, but this is where we're going. All right, so we're talking sticky rice balls in coconut solution. Rice balls. Yeah. พูดภาษาอังกฤษเก่งมาก อ Wow. Right, so we've got original sweet egg, salted egg, 2 eggs. This place is super famous. Look, they've got all the bloggers up on the wall there. Hopefully my photo will be on there soon. So I'm going to get mine without the egg because I don't really like the poached egg in mine. I think it's a bit strange for my Western palate to just have a standard poached egg or a salted egg in a sweet dessert. But I'm going to get this nice, warm coconut milk with these balls. The original bubble tea, I guess. Oh, okay. Look at this. Lord man. Look at this proper street food setup. It's got a little table, little chair. I don't think this is to actually sit down and eat. I think this is for them, but they've allowed me to sit down. Oh, yes. Look at that. We've got a bit of coconut flesh, that pandan coconut water, that pandan coconut milk, and all those different coloured balls, flavoured with natural ingredients. Oh, look at me, guys. Absolute sweaty mess. The sun is beaming down now. It's about 10 o'clock now. So well and truly in the Bangkok heat. Let's give this a go. We've got a bit of sweet corn in there as well. Very strange for a Westerner to eat sweet corn in desserts, but it does make sense because it's sweet corn, right? It's very sugary. It's got a lot of starch. Now let's give this a go. As you know, guys, I'm not much of a sweet kind of guy. I'm sweet enough. Yeah, but that's decent. That is decent. I don't really like desserts, but anything with coconut milk. So this is coconut milk, palm sugar, which is pandan, which has the most amazing flavour. A little bit of salt, so you got like that salty, sweet, sort of salted caramel kind of vibe going on. And actually, the sweet corn really does work. If you've had khao krok, which me and Diggy ate down in Trokmore Market around the corner, you'll know what I mean. There's little pieces of taro in here. It's like a little root vegetable. And those little gelatinous, what did I call them earlier? Bubble tea balls. They're like the original bubble tea, apart from they're not tapioca. They're flavoured with different natural ingredients like sweet potato, pandan, to make them green, obviously. The pink ones, no idea. I mean, I would probably prefer this to be cold. Hot desserts kind of mess in my head a little bit. And I would probably omit the sweet corn. But look, it's a fun dessert. It's super traditional and it just screams Old Town Bangkok. Bye-bye. Okay, so that just about wraps up our Old Town Bangkok street food DIY tour. This one's really easy, guys. You can do this yourself. No need for a tour guide. But as I said, you can always grab my guide in the description box below. All of these stops today will be in the guide as well as in the links in the description. The point of these little DIY food tour videos is to give you places to eat no matter where you are in Bangkok. So I hope I've done that today. If I have and you're not already subscribed, make sure you do that. Give the video a thumbs up and I will see you in the next one.